All right, let's go talk to Cornelius and explore some more of the New Jerusalem city while we are there. Man, Byron is gone. Okay,
The
people.
world is full of suffering. Every living organism suffers. Animals kill other animals to eat. And it always ends with death, torn apart or wasting away. This is what surrounds us. This is what's happening outside those walls, every hour of every day. It's our ethical responsibility as sentient beings to lessen suffering. That's what it means to be human, to understand that it is your duty to transform this world into something better. That's what the founder meant when she said that we can turn the world into a work of art. Despite what happened to him, Byron was right. We have to keep going.
This is blasphemy. Byron was punished for failing the Founder's trials. And you want us to dig deeper? Just because you can't accept that suffering is natural and necessary?
Please, everyone, stop using the public frequency. If you want to argue, use your interface or speak in person.
Damn, this whole place is gonna start falling apart now that's Byron's gone. And we have a lot of info on Athena and Miranda and Cornelius. I guess everyone would have heard about Cornelius by now, since he was present in the recordings, and I assume they would have shared it. Let's look at the PDA to see the new discussions. City news. The expedition to the Founder's Island has suffered a serious setback as all contact with Byron was lost during a foray into the interior of the megastructure. Byron is assumed to be alive, but trapped within a data stream overload and unable to disconnect. Several sources in the government expressed a lack of surprise at this turn of events, citing the first companion's history of rash behavior. Hopefully, this gets people thinking about the dangers of populism. One source told me, it's been alarming to see people suddenly falling for this utopian foolishness. Just looking at the word populism, often pejorative, a variety of political approaches appealing to the real or perceived interests of ordinary people, framed as struggle against a privileged elite who ignore their interests. That's a populism. So Byron was spreading populism with his ideologies. Gemifex 312 now open. I'm very happy to announce that Gehenna Memorial Interactive Fiction Exhibition is now open to visitors. Come play the 3 winning works at the Gehenna Memorial Pavilion. Finally, can't wait. Leticia. Wonderful news. I'll be attending today. Budahas. Nice. Sagoran. Will these be made available to the interface too? Yes, after the exhibition is over. Alright. The Optimist. Niamh, the pessimist is commonly spoken of as a man in revolt. He is not. Firstly, because it requires some cheerfulness to continue in revolt. And secondly, because pessimism appeals to the weaker side of everybody, and the pessimist therefore drives as a soaring trade, drives as roaring a trade as the public can. The person who is really in revolt is the optimist, who generally lives and dies in desperate and suicidal effort to persuade all the other people how good they are. It has been proved 100 times over that if you really wish to engage people and make them angry, even on to death, the right way to do this is to tell them that they are all sons of God. Jesus Christ was crucified, it may be remembered, not because of anything he said about God, but on a charge of saying that a man could in 3 days pull down and rebuild the temple. Every one of the great revolutionists, from Isaiah to Shelley, have been optimists. They have been indignant not about the badness of existence, but about the slowness of men in realizing its goodness. The prophet is stoned in not a brawler or marplot. He is simply a rejected lover. He suffers from an unrequited attachment to things in general. G.K. Chesterton. The prophet who is stoned is not a brawler or marplot. He is simply a rejected lover. Rip Byron. TLDR. Rip Byron. Wait, why is this? He was an because Byron was an optimist. He was trying to convince everyone. Like, the argument here is that optimists are trying to convince everyone that the world is good, and they're not indignant of the badness of the world. That's one way to be an optimist. Like, being indignant about the suffering around us instead of accepting it. But that's not what optimists is trying to do, is what this passage says. It's that they are trying to convince everyone that things are good, which may be detrimental in the long run, I guess, if we don't acknowledge how things are bad. I don't know. We don't know that he's dead. He may just be lost. He could still be saved. Sagaran, I was going to say something sarcastic, but you know what? In the spirit of optimism, I really hope so. Right. Let's keep exploring. Hermanubis, the mayor. Has this side been unlocked? No. It's been lit up. I feel like it was not lit up the last time we came here. A nice casual elevator ride as we think about things. Okay, now we have to confront people. Look at this place. It's so drab right now. Light has gone away. It's very cloudy and foggy. That's Damien, right? Damien. Sebastian, Moriana, Strahinja, Venable. I don't know if that tune is supposed to be recognizable, but at least he's the composer of the tracks. At least for Talos Principle 1. I haven't checked for Talos Principle 2, but it's probably the same guy, right? You know, this music you hear right now, it reminds me of Mass Effect. Not this part. The initial part. We should probably visit Milton's Rest and some of the other locations. Okay, what does the signs say? Gehenna Memorial and... Come on. Museum of Civilization. That's where we'll find Cornelius. That's where we need to go ultimately. Milton's Rest. Tablets of the Founder, Alexander Denon Memorial. Let's go to Milton's Rest first. It should be recognizable by sight. Oh wow, who said that? Cerno. I think that right there is Milton's Rest. Padme.
Founder's blessings.
Oh. Chancey.
Are you enjoying our gardens?
Yes, they're lovely. To be honest, no, not especially. I'm not sure yet. Sorry, I don't have time to chat right now. Yeah, they're lovely.
All the great secrets are right there, you know. You can watch the tiniest of seedlings grow, flourish, and die. But it's the pattern of all things that you're really seeing.
You have flair for the dramatic. Speak for yourself. All I see is biology and dirt. Yes, just as the entire universe is reflected in a single dewdrop.
Ah, so you've green fingers and apophenia too. Those traits are much too rare in the birthing algorithm, in my opinion. Sometimes I imagine myself as an old oak tree. I watch the life which grows around me. I see the ivy, the moss, the fungi, leaching my nutrients as they go. And I don't blame them. I'm delighted by how life seems so different from me can somehow be the same as me. This old oak tree drinks water from the ground. They drink their water from me. They shrivel and die in a single season. But I shrivel and die over centuries. What kind of plant would you be, I wonder?
Rather hear thoughts on that. Let me tell you. Keep wondering, I'm leaving. I'd rather hear your thoughts on that.
Well, you're certainly a tree of some sort. A bay, perhaps. You adapt to your surroundings. You might grow your trunk to be 10 meters high, providing shade for the shrubs at your roots. But you might just as well be those very shrubs, throwing up dozens of supple branches, each no longer than your arm. Of course, it's the patterns, you see.
Why tend these gardens when our ancestors are long dead?
Our ancestors grew plants for their colors, their tastes, and their general utility. It is said they could identify a fruit based on the flavor of the air alone. Our senses may not be so honed, but we're no less evolved from the same natural world. Thank you for stopping by, 1K. I'm sure we'll meet again.
Thank you, Chancey, for talking to me. That's Helga right there. Let's talk to Helga.
Attention all citizens. The Gehenna Memorial Interactive Fiction Exhibition is now open to visitors. However, please note that due to an unauthorized strike, public transport will be temporarily unavailable. May the founder be with you.
Okay, talk to Helga.
1K, what can I do for you?
Future prediction, clean start, majestic, dashing hamsters. Thanks, that's all. So this is the code word we came up with, I think. So let's say that.
You remembered the code phrase. Oh, it is fun, isn't it? All this adventure and discovery and subterfuge. Here, let me top up your credit balance for you. It's the least I can do. Ka-ching!
Oh wow.
1,000 credits. You're rich. Spiritually, anyway. Don't go spending it all at once.
Can we?
What can I get you?
Wait, what can we get with inner peace? What the hell? Okay, let's go for inner peace. Let's see what this is.
Whoa. Inner peace doesn't come cheap. Come back when you've got 1,000 credits.
You just gave me 1,000 credits. By the way, will inner peace get rid of internal monologue? I feel like it'll get rid of internal monologue. But that thing has never been active, to be honest. I thought it's gonna play a huge role, but it never speaks. It did it like twice and then that was it. So let's do this. But I do have 1,000 credits.
Gosh, I completely forgot. Well, did being rich bring you inner peace?
I probably know.
Oh, that usually does a trick.
Then she's gonna take it away.
Before. Did you feel inner peace before I made you rich?
I did not.
The fact that you're trying to buy inner peace tells me you're still looking for solutions outside of yourself. What helps me is letting go of the idea that what makes me happy is facts about the world. Sure, it helps when things go well, but if you depend on those things, you will have nothing left when they're gone. If you can learn to trust yourself, you can learn to trust the world.
Oh my god, it's complete bullshit. But how? This is easier said than done.
I know.
Yeah.
I wish the how was a fact we could learn from a book. But it's a practice. I can use words to tell you how to ride a bike, but the only way you learn is by doing it.
Yeah. I get it now. Thank you. Or we can say I still don't buy this, but I do buy it, to some degree. It's just that the practice of this is just too difficult for humans.
You're quite welcome. Glad to help. So, something else perhaps?
Maybe a future prediction?
For 20 credits, I can peer into your future and tell you what I see.
Read me my future.
What a shame. I don't think you've got enough credits for that.
Hey, I have 1000.
So, something else perhaps.
Wait, did you just take away all my 1000 credits? That's bullshit, dude. Come on.
Before you go, do you have a moment to participate in some customer feedback? Are you satisfied with what I've given you?
Not really. You gave me 1000 credits. I don't even remember how it disappeared. All he's selling is words. Come on.
And no. Is a spare battery just complicated lithium? Or is it also an extra chance at life? Is an idea just a bunch of words? Or a way of reprogramming ourselves to be aware in a different way?
Words is symbolic noise is no more than that. I see what you mean. Words build the world.
Yes. You understand.
Oh my god.
Words manifest the reality they describe. When you name something, you create it. Our minds are algorithms, and the right sequence of language can change our underlying code. With that in mind, I hope you have a good day. Please come back if you need anything else.
Let's try talking to her again once more.
1K, what can I do for you?
Future prediction?
For 20 credits, I can peer into your future and...
Read my future.
What a shame.
Alright. I think she took the 1000 credits, so there's nothing we can do for now. That's Cornelius. Let's not go there yet. Let's go to Gehenna Memorial. Tuiva. Tuya? Was there a V in her name? Gehenna Memorial, alright. Niamh! Oh my god. Niamh is the guide here. Okay. Jefferson Goldbloom and the Spectre of Modernity by Rat. 980. Another story in the much celebrated Jefferson Goldbloom shared universe originated in Gehenna. It maintains the characteristic writing style of the series but focuses on a new set of themes. Ghosts of Atlantis by Corazon 815. A lyrical atmospheric quasi-sequel to Atlantis, a classic work created by Lilith. The original game told the story of the inundation of the mythical island, no doubt reflecting the impending fate of the citizens of Gehenna. Argument Simulator by Guta, a short, punchy work of games as commentary. Do you agree with the conclusion it suggests? So these are not excerpts from Gehenna or the creations from Gehenna, but some things that have been inspired by the works from Gehenna, I guess. Alright, talk to Niamh.
Welcome to the Gehenna Memorial Interactive Fiction Exhibition. Oh, it's you, 1K. Please tell me, you were there when everything went sideways.
She wants to talk about...
Byron will be all right.
I don't know, his mind was stuck in a data stream overload. If we find him, he'll be fine.
Oh, Byron, always getting into trouble. He's been like that for 1,000 years, you know. But losing him would be terrible. But anyway, you've come to take a well-deserved break from your expedition. So let's talk about something else.
What's Gehenna? Why text adventures? How do you see the role of the artists in society? Okay, what's Gehenna?
Gehenna was a place in the simulation. A prison where ELOHIM exiled the minds that didn't fit his plans. In time, the prison became a community with a culture of its own.
What happened to the people of Gehenna?
In the very last moments of the simulation, ELOHIM realized what he'd done and sent his messenger Uriel to free the prisoners.
Yeah.
Uploaded to the gold disc, and their legacy is part of all of us.
Why text adventures?
Text adventures were one of the few art forms available to the people of Gehenna. By continuing to work in that medium, we keep their memory alive.
How do you see the role of artists in society?
I don't think the role of the artist should be reduced to any single social function. The artist isn't an educator or a moralist. Art isn't about teaching us lessons or imparting values. Nor do I think it's simply self-expression. The best art reaches out beyond the self, into something ineffable. The creative impulse can't really be quantified or predicted. That's why artistic freedom is so profoundly essential. Without the freedom to shock, to offend, to transgress, art becomes stagnant.
Thanks, that's all. Let's play some of these text adventures. Jefferson, Goldbloom, and the Spectre of Modernity, a true story. Start credits. Let's look at the credits. Written and designed by Rat 980, dedicated to Mac. Exactly, Mac. Mac was the one who was writing. What was the Jefferson Goldbloom and his like space adventures or something? I don't remember if it had a title, but it was quite fun. Let's start. You, Jefferson Goldbloom, deftly step out of the charging pod and walk into the main lobby of the Goldbloom Institute. It's a humble abode filled with a small 4-seater sofa, a table, a coffee bar, and an arboretum. Okay. Ginny HD, your fiancé and a leading member of the Caserati Weierstrass Jazz Ensemble, greets you from the sofa while Frankie Soy Sauce waves from the coffee bar, and Velociraptor John Malcolm drives out of the arboretum on his motorcycle wearing his green armored t-shirt. I remember the episode with the Velociraptor, the armored Velociraptor riding the motorcycle. That was fun. Speak to Jenny, Frankie, John. Speak to Jenny first. Oh, Jefferson, cries Ginny ST. Good morning. Good morning, Ginny ST, you reply. Did you sleep well, my darling? Oh, Jefferson, I slept most dreadfully. Why is that? Is your charging port too hard? No, Jefferson, that's not it at all. Ginny ST moans. My charging port is very comfortable. I don't know why I slept so poorly, but I woke upon this small 4-seater sofa, which is strange because I went to sleep in my room. You think about this carefully while stroking your guitar. Ginny has no problem recharging most nights. You are about to reply when a klaxon resounds throughout the Goldbloom Institute. Ask John Malcolm what's happening. Chirp, 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 chirps John Malcolm loudly before he shrugs his reptilian shoulders. Sorry, my friend, I'm afraid this saying doesn't translate very well. Maybe you should shut the klaxon off before we continue this conversation. Shoot the klaxon. Play your guitar. You unsling your guitar from your back and check the strings to make sure they are in the proper order. Then you take a heroic stance with your chest puffed out and your legs splayed wide and your guitar held heroically aloft. You play a chord, a perfect chord, followed by another equally perfect chord, and another, and another. As always, all the chords that you play are perfect. This is your greatest burden. Mollified, the klaxon shuts itself off. Talk to your team. You turn from the now silenced central computer console and look at your team, who are all gazing back at you with varying levels of wonderment in their eyes. Mollified. He shames the klaxon to shut itself off. Wonderment in their eyes. Ask why the klaxon was blaring. John Malcolm dismounts his motorcycle with an air of certainty and queries the central computer console with sure taps of his reptilian claws upon the keyboard. It seems, John Malcolm says, that the sensors have detected a threat of galactic magnitude. Oh no, cries Ginny ST while Frankie Soy Sauce drops his cup of joe in fear. check John's findings. Even a first cursory glance at the central computer console reveals that John Malcolm is right. The klaxon is indeed warning you of an unparalleled threat to both human world and the denizens of the ninth dimension. Jefferson, what is it? It's, you say with neutron star-like gravity, the spectre of modernity, Gehenna, it's coming for us. The silence that follows your proclamation is only penetrated by Gehenna's gasp and porcelain sound of Frankie soy sauce's freshly brewed java hitting the floor. Ask what the Spectre is. What is the Spectre of modernity? You ask while tuning your guitar for the coming battle. I'm glad you asked, answers John Malcolm. As you all well know, for I have told this tale many times, my people have feared for many millennia that this day would come. John Malcolm smooths his feathers along his long neck with his claws. Tell him to continue. The Spectre, as you know, will bring an end to the old and ring in a new era of unparalleled technological advancement, and there's no space left in the world for such cherished human and dinosaurian qualities like love, creativity, the ability to taste umami, loyalty, and friendship. The circle of renewal will end, and we will only move forward at an ever accelerating pace until we reach the limits of existence itself. Ask when the Spectre will arrive. It modernizes everything, and every other value gets diminished. The Spectre of modernity travels at the speed of time itself. Speed of time, says John Malcolm gravely. It has already arrived, Jefferson. We just haven't encountered it yet. Frankie soy sauce turns on the coffee maker, a fresh cup of battery acid clutched carefully in his human fingers. You must do something, Jefferson. I do not care for umami, but if the Spectre takes away my ability to taste coffee, I do not know whatever I will do. Reassure him. All tastes are precious to us, Frankie, you say. Sweet, salty, sour, bitter, and yes, also umami. We shan't surrender any of them, for they are what renders us human. Take action. Friends, humans, dinosaurians, countrymen, possessed by a sudden urge to act, you jump upon the coffee maker, much to Frankie Soyce's dismay. We cannot let this threat to our very way of life go unanswered. No, we must stand against the Spectre and not yield until we are victorious. Will you stand with me? Wait for their response. Yes, my darling, anything for human world, cries Johnny H.T. Friend, you know that I'll stand by you until the bitter end, adds John Malcolm solemnly. For coffee, shouts Frankie Soy Sauce, and for love. But, asks Niamh after the shouting and swearing of fealty is done, how will we prevail? The Spectre of modernity is too powerful for you to fight it on your own. Of course she's right, as she usually is. Take Ginny, take Frankie, take Malcolm, go alone. Let's take Malcolm with us. He seems the most capable. Ah, Jefferson, I am honored that you choose me as your companion on this quest, John Malcolm says, flapping his flightless, sparsely feathered arms in gratitude. Together we'll defeat the Spectre of modernity, and our adventures will live on in song for generations to come. Tell me, friend Jefferson, where shall I take us on my motorcycle? Jungle, island, ocean. Let's go to the jungle. I don't know why we're going to the jungle. John's motorcycle carries you and your dinosaurian friend swiftly across mountains and dales until you arrive in the heart of the great jungle. Friend Jefferson, cries John Malcolm mournfully, the terrain is too uneven for my trusty hog. We must dismount and continue on foot. You walk through the dense foliage, feeling a myriad of eyes upon you, until you arrive at the clearing in the center of which stands a great mechanical clock tower. You know that nothing good can come from such a terrible machine. Approach the tower. With little other choice left by the treacherous terrain, you approach the tower. The clock's hand reaches for you greedily. Oh no. Luckily, the sinister hands bounce off harmlessly on Joel Malcolm's armored t-shirt. Aha, you cry. I think you'll find that humans and dinosaurians will not be conquered so easily. You strum your guitar and John Malcolm calls for his brethren, the birds that live abundantly within the jungle, and together you bring the tower down. We are victorious, John Malcolm proclaims, only for his lipless reptilian smile to fall when he gazes upon your worried face. What's it, Jefferson? This wasn't the Spectre of Modernity, old friend. This was only its lieutenant. The true battle lies ahead of us still. But then you pick up a warped and twisted piece of metal in your fleshy hands and grin grimly. But mayhap now that we know what stuff our adversary is made of, we stand a chance against him. So I guess if we go to these other locations, we have a better chance of fighting him, maybe. Who knows? Go to the islands. John's motorcycle is not swift enough to carry you across the turbulent waves that surround the islands. Together you stand on the shore, gazing out across the vast expanse of choppy water. I am sorry, friend, bemoans the dinosaurian mournfully. My armored t-shirt makes it impossible for me to swim, and my motorcycle is not made to crest these waves. I have doomed our endeavor from the start. My reptilian brother, you say, resting a human hand upon John Malcolm's scaly shoulder. I'd rather have failed with you than succeeded someone else's side, for we'll be friends until the bitter ends, no matter what future may hold. We are seen to confront the Spectre as best we can with the tools at our disposal. Go to the icy mountains. Okay, there was a jungle, the island, and was it the last one mountains? I guess out of all, like if we picked the different companion, maybe we could have gone to the island. Maybe they would have had a boat or something. I don't know. Go to the icy mountains. After a long day of travel, you arrive at the icy mountains. The great mountains are barren of plant and animal life, yet they are beautiful in their own way. Jagged and cracked and rugged, peaked with snow and goes to the bedrock by merry little streams. But there seems to be nothing that could be useful in defeating the Spectre of Modernity. Well, says your companion, what now? For John. I think we should continue, you say humbly. Don't you agree? Jefferson, so it has come to this, the motorcycle riding reptilian size. Together we stand at the end of the world, figuratively and literally. Dinosaurians and humankind united in one last quest to save us all, and our only logical way is forward and onward. You hum in agreement. It is a beautiful thought. I'm not sad that it is you that I find myself with here at the end. John Malcolm continues. Just look upon this great otherworldly beauty before us. The Spectre of Modernity only sees the future, but these mountains have seen our entire past and they have never bowed to change. Dear God, aren't they majestic, old friend? Respond. You're about to respond, but before you can open your mouth, the ground before you gapes open and a horrendous yet oddly beautiful figure with glowing red eyes and mighty antlers emerges from the depths. Who dares summon the dear God? It howls in a voice echoing as if in a deep cavern. Run away. Attempt to explain the misunderstanding. Oh my god, I feel like it's gonna go poorly. As the dust settles, you see before you the mighty white stag with glowing red eyes and golden antlers. You tremble boldly and quake in your boots as the apparition gazes upon you. Who had summoned me? The dear booms. What foolish mortal dares to disturb my slumber? Oh great antlered one, you say earnestly. Your awakening is not the result of intent, but of homophony. The antlered creature cocks its head and its eyes flash menacingly, but does not otherwise react. Ask for dear God's help. We are on a quest to destroy the Spectre of Modernity, and we would ask for your help in a noble cause. And why would I help you, foolish mortal? To protect our way of life, to preserve friendship, because modernity destroys beauty, because modernity has no space for love, to preserve the ideals of loyalty. Talk about umami. Wow. To preserve friendship. Because, you say, clutching your guitar sincerely to your chest. The people of human world and the innocents of the ninth dimension value friendship above all else. And in fractured future that Spectre of Modernity envisions for us, there will be no place for such things. My friends, my dear Chancey and young Frankie Soisos and even John Malcolm, even though he is not human, mean more to me than any technological advancement ever will. Says the antlered beast. I am eternal and divine and wholly unique. I have no peers that I could call friends, nor do I have the desire for them. Begone, paltry human, your troubles do not concern me. And with that, the dear God vanishes back into the ground. Okay. Maybe if he picked a different option, he would have helped. The thing is, all of these are like, there's a paragraph written for all of these options. So it's impossible to, not impossible, it's going to take a long time to experience every version of this text adventure game, because there are so many choices and so many things differ. Yeah, it would have been a fun thing for the developers to do, and I feel like the other text adventures, the two other ones in the Gehenna Memorial would also be similarly complicated, and I don't know, they would have had some fun writing it, I guess. Go and confront the Spectre of Modernity. When you approach the lair of the Spectre of Modernity, you decide to leave your companion behind, knowing that you cannot risk another life in this final confrontation. Ooh, sometimes heroes have to stand alone. Enter the mechanical lair. Inside the mechanical lair, the Spectre of Modernity waits for you, sitting translucently on a titanium throne. The Spectre of Modernity, you murmur through gritted teeth. We meet at last. You're mistaken, Professor Dr. Goldbloom. The Spectre of Modernity says. We have met many times before. I am your father, and your mother. Request clarification. Who do you think inspired you to add the power of electricity to your guitar? Who upgraded Ginny from SD to HD? Who indeed deciphered the mathematical secrets of the codes? That arcane knowledge upon which some of your greatest adventures depend. I was your ally all along, Jefferson. The foul wizard of crime has conspired to turn you against me. It was he who enchanted your klaxon. That actually makes a lot of sense. Sorry. I don't think that's the end. No biggie, says the Spectre. Now let us defeat the wizard of crime together. Even now he conspires to steal all that you have accomplished, the power of his enchantment that confuses the mind. Go back to the Institute. You rush back to the Goldbloom Institute, where you find the wizard of crime taking advantage of the absence of your heroic friends. Out seeking other ways to stop the Spectre of Modernity. To rifle through your belongings. He's surprised to see you. I see my scheme has failed. Curses, were it not for that scheming Spectre, I would have stolen all your wealth and added to my ever-growing hoard. For that is my scheme, to steal and steal until the whole world is mine. Muhahaha. Okay. And so you arrest the foul sorcerer instead of the development of human potential, and become good friends with the Spectre of Modernity. Just call me Mo, the Spectre says. I'm sure we'll have many wonderful adventures together. The end. And we have the option to restart. Wow. That was quite a bit. I think I'll take a break, and then once I'm back, I'll talk to Niamh again. No, not talk to Niamh. We'll look at, what's this? Argument simulator. Yeah. See you in a bit. Alright. After coming back after a break, let's look at the rest of the stories. I think this was the one we looked at before. No, it's a new one. Argument simulator. Start credits. Let's look at the credits. Written and designed by Guta. Okay. Start. Choose your character. Goldbloom, Socrates. Library assistant. Whoa, library assistant is probably referring to Milton. Socrates is obviously Socrates. And Goldbloom is Jefferson Goldbloom. Will we have widely varying experiences with these three? Let's go with library assistant. Choose your argument. It's true, it's false, it's not true. It's not true. I assert the opposite. This is obviously incorrect. No, it isn't. I can contradict you. The premise of your contradiction is itself contradictory. I question your epistemology. I question your axiomatic principles. I question your ethics. I question your metaphysics. Let's find out what we agree on. Okay. It feels like a good idea for us to understand one another better. Game over. Thank you for playing Argument Simulator. Would you like to play again? Please start. Let's go with Goldbloom. Choose your argument. It's false. I assert the opposite. You're wrong. That's just pestering. No, you are. I can contradict you. I don't accept the underlying logic of your contradiction. I question your metaphysics. Your question begs your assertion. The foundation of your thinking are incorrect. Your side will never be right. Let's find out what we agree on. The foundations of your thinking are incorrect. I disagree. This is obviously incorrect. No, it isn't. I can contradict you. It goes in a loop, I guess. I question your ethics. Your question begs assertion. Your side will never be right. That's the opposite of the truth. You're wrong. No, you are. I can contradict you. Okay, this is just it's a very cordial disagreement, but it's still running around in circles. You question your axiomatic principles. Your question begs your assertion. Huh. The foundations of your thinking are incorrect. The opposite is true, it's obviously incorrect. No, it is in, I can contradict. Okay, alright. I wonder if there's like a very special path we can take which will result in a not a game over but a win. I think there will be, but I'll have to figure that out later. Ghosts of Atlantis by Corazon, a lyrical, atmospheric quasi-sequel to Atlantis, a classic work created by Lilith. The original game told the story of the inundation of the mythical island, no doubt reflecting the impending fate of the citizens of Gehenna. Argument similar by Guta, a short, punchy work of games is commentary. Do you agree with the conclusion it suggests? Okay, let's do Ghosts of Atlantis, written and designed by Corazon, dedicated to the people of Gehenna. Gently, your ship touches down on the land that once was the Isle of Atlantis, which in the days before the waters receded, lay deep under the Sea of Atlantis. You have come to find the last legacy of your ancestors. The red sun burns bright in the sky, scorching the dying earth. Begin your pilgrimage. Journey to the broken tower, lost shore, temple of serpents, temple of the owl. Let's go with temple of the owl. The sun grows bigger and bigger. Time is running short. Your next stop is the Temple of the Owl, the greatest scientific institution of all Atlantis. Here, ancients tried to understand the secret laws of the cosmos, although their studies did not advance far enough to prevent their fate. The ghosts of the scientists await you in the ruins. Speak to the scientist. I am not rusted in death, the scientist tells you. In fact, death has provided ample opportunity for study. I have learned much about the machinery of creation. He hesitates. I'd like to join you, but I fear that the truth I have discovered will offend and outrage many. Tell him not to reveal the truth. Tell him that time of such outrage has passed. Tell him that outrage should not prevent compassion. Tell him the truth matters more than anything. Tell him to stay behind. Tell him that the time of such outrage has passed. If that is true, then truly a new eon has begun, and I will join you without fear, the ghost says. And perhaps the truth I discovered will not be hurtful at all, but become a source of joy. Continue your pilgrimage. Journey to the broken tower. On the northern shores of the island, where the frozen ocean once stretched to the horizon, stands the remains of a tower. Here lived a great magician who advised the king of Atlantis in matters of the sublime. There is very little left of the once impressive structure. To anyone else, it would be a pile of rubble covered in black, dried out moss. But you can see a glimpse of its past, of the craft that went into its making. By the tower stands the ghost of the magician, awaiting you. Speak to the magician. A great marvel was laid to me in this tower, the great magician says. A glimpse of the sublime, and although I am dead and my soul has spent an eon under the sea, that vision is not lost to me. Even now, I could summon it and reveal it fully. He pauses. If I do, I will finally witness the sublime in all its glory. But I believe that in this moment, my soul will be annihilated. Is that a fate I should embrace or reject? Annihilation of the self is liberty. Annihilation of the self is a sin. Oh, it's a liberty. You speak wisely, the magician says. I have lingered here too long. He turned away from you towards a world beyond your sight. A bright light suffuses him, and you cannot tell whether the magician is laughing or screaming. Then he's gone. Journey to the lost shore. The journey takes you to a wasteland that was once a beach, where children from the Atlantean capital of Luna came to play. Here stands the ghost of the poet, contemplating the dying sun that fills the sky. Speak to the poet. I never completed my great work, he says. There were too many priests and censors who interfered and who did not allow me to create what I intended because they feared the free and true expression of poetic genius. And then came the earthquakes and the waves and long ages under the sea, and now this time of burning death. Yet still I long for its completion, and my soul imagines what could have been. You must accept that your work cannot be finished. You are dead. You must accept your death and find a way of completing the great work. Let's go to the second one. All art is irrational, the poet says. It's not the opposite of reason, but beyond reason, and so is the defiance of death. Even by the dead themselves. We are gone, we do not exist, and yet we refuse to surrender. Perhaps that is what's called faith. Ask the boy to join you. It will good to have you with us. The scientist tells the poet, you know much of the truth, I think, and you have remained too long in this place. Continue pilgrimage. So there are some grammatic, it will good to have you with us. I don't know if that's supposed to be a grammar error or that's a way like old English was written. It will be good to have you with us, right? And at the same time, this is created by someone, an android, as a work of art, right? This whole experience, this whole text adventure. So it could signify just a simple mistake made by the person in game, and not like a an unintentional error. We don't know. Continue pilgrimage. So I wonder if by choosing different things with different people, we could have convinced them to join us. Right now, the poet can join us. Continue pilgrimage. Journey to the Temple of Serpents. Journey to the ancient farmlands. So let's go to the Temple of Serpents. You make way to the Temple of Serpents, which once was the greatest hospital in all of Atlantis. The sick and the injured came here from all across the island, hoping that salvation could be found in its house. All that's left of the temple is a labyrinth of low walls and the ghost of the physician waiting for you. It is faint, barely visible. I guess we can explore the labyrinth first. In what was once a great hall, you discover an inscription. It reads, do good for all in the present, for the past cannot be changed. Future cannot be known, and everything that lives is holy. Okay. Speak to the physician. I work here day and night for many years, and I saved countless lives, the physician says. And yet, of all the lives that I saved, only one survived the death of the island, a young messenger who escaped on one of the ships thanks to another's sacrifice. And I wondered many times since, was my work in vain? The burden of this question is eroding my soul. I wonder if there's a story in Gehenna about like a city was dying. I don't know if it was Athens, but the city was dying and the king would invite either a poet or a scientist or a farmer or any of the people. It was a text adventure, and they would invite that person to advise the king because the city was going to sink in a couple of hours. They realized that city was going to sink in a couple of hours. I mean, the king itself realized quite late, and he's asking for advice. He says that he's no king. In a sense, anyone who is wise can be a king, and in this particular instance, a poet could be the wisest person to save the city, or a scientist could be the one, whatever we chose as our character. And we got to pick and choose a couple of options. We got to decide who to take on a ship outside the city, because the city was lost anyway. And we could go to the library and collect some books. We could go to the... I don't know what the farmer did. I think everyone ultimately had to choose if they needed to collect a bunch of knowledge to be preserved, art to be preserved, history to be preserved, and a bunch of things like that. And we could choose one or the other, and we could also choose to take the ship or let the messenger take the ship in our stead. So this reminds me of that, because it speaks of a young messenger who escaped one of the ships thanks to another sacrifice. So this messenger, if we chose to stay behind, then this messenger could have escaped. So it reminds me of that story from Gehenna. No, because And I wondered many times, was my work in vain? The burden of this question is eroding my soul. No, because death comes to all in the end. No, because that messenger is my ancestor. Wow. No, because he who saves one life saves all lives. No, because all lives are worth saving, no matter the future. All things are in vain unless we choose to believe differently. Tell me about the inscription you found. Interesting. All things are in vain unless we choose to believe differently is a pretty... yeah, just giving it to him without any other... It's not softening the blow with that one. The physician's eyes widen and he becomes more visible. You are right, he says. That is the creed of the Temple of Serpents. To do good in the present, which is all one can ever do. I had forgotten that. Thank you for reminding me. Yeah, you don't like, do the best you can in the present. If it does not work out in the future, learn from it. But, you can't like sit there and regret it for the entire life. Ask the physician to join you. So we have a physician and a poet. Yeah, I'll join you, the physician says. There is still good I can do, even as a ghost. Continue your pilgrimage. Journey to the ancient farmlands. So the soil used to be rich, life-giving. Generations of humans relied on it to survive. Then the waves came, and after the waves, the dying sun. Now all the life is gone. Something has revealed. See the thing. Okay, you know what? You remember the story I just mentioned you earlier about like 5 different people: a poet, a scientist, a doctor, whatever else we visited. I forgot. Like there were 5 locations, right? Each of these 5 people were the ones that the king could request to visit, like request to visit him, and could ask advice for. And all of them died. These are the ghosts of those people that we met in Gehenna, or didn't meet in Gehenna, but the ones we experienced in that text adventure, which was written by someone in Gehenna. I think it was Blacksmith, maybe. The messenger that they saved, the messenger that the guy mentioned, so he stayed behind. The physician stayed behind so that the messenger could escape, and that was just that story. The soil used to be rich, life-giving. Generations of humans relied on it to survive. Then the waves came, and after the waves, the dying sun. Now that all life is gone, something has been revealed underneath the soil, a city of unimaginable antiquity. The ghost of the farmer waits in its ruins. Speak to the farmer. The city is older than the capital. The ghost tells you it's older than Atlantis itself, when our most distant ancestors huddled in terror before the thunder and lightning. The city was already old, and yet this city is no foreign to us. We too are its citizens. He looks directly at you. There's a light in his eyes that is not of this world. Are you willing to swear fealty to the city across the boundaries of time and space? Fealty to the city? Why would we want to do that? No. Then the city will not be there for you when you need it, and you will fail. But you're young, so very young. You will find the city elsewhere in time and have another opportunity. The ghost fades in nothingness. So if you chose yes, I guess maybe you might have joined us. So where do you go now? Journey to the palace. This is where the king lived. He also probably died. The palace once stood in the very heart of Luna, the capital of Atlantis. Here... I don't know why I said Athens earlier. I think it was Atlantis. Here, the greatest artists and craftsmen of that long-forgotten era built marvels and luxuries that would astound even a traveler from the distant future. But these things, like everything else, are gone now. Only a single remnant of the Atlantean world remains, though it is perhaps the most precious, a great mosaic telling the history of Atlantis. Before it waits a ghost of the king. Yeah, king also is dead. Speak to the king. I try to be a good man, the king says, to be kind, to balance justice with mercy, to honor the gods, to support the peasant and the scholar alike, and yet I failed. Why? You failed because you were immoral and Mother Earth punished you. You did not fail. We are here. All kings must fail, but it's not your fault that you were born a king. You failed because you put yourself above others and hoarded luxury. That's not at all true. Last statement. All kings must fail, but it is not your fault that you were born a king. You did not fail, we are here. The king is comforted by your words. You speak kindly, he says. I know that I am not without blame, but in the end, I chose to save others before myself. So perhaps you're right, and I did not fail entirely. Ask the king to join you. The king lays his ghostly crown aside. I will join you, but only as a man. Examine the mosaic. The mosaic is a work of superb beauty, a great work of history and humanity. In it you see reflected all the hardship, tragedy, hope, triumph, and heartbreak of your ancestors. This is what you came to find. Retrieve the mosaic. You cannot retrieve the mosaic alone. The forces of time are too powerful, and the strength of a single person is not enough. Ask the ghost for help. We have 3 ghosts with us right now. I don't know if it will be enough. Even with the help of the ghost, you cannot entirely pry the mosaic loose from the morass of history, but you succeed at removing a large part depicting the golden age of the island. It'll have to do. Return to your ship. A strange, bittersweet feeling fills your heart as you return to the ship. You did not fail, yet so much was lost. Could you have done better? Should you have? As the sun engulfs the earth, you wonder what will be remembered of your own time, the end. Okay. Yeah, I guess we can choose different options for different those different NPCs to gather all of them, and then maybe we could retrieve the entire mosaic. That may be the win condition, so to speak. Let's exit for now. I don't know if he will have new dialogue. No, apparently not. So Gehenna Memorial we have explored. You can see Cornelius will be inside that building. Sanchiniathon. What a name.
Hello?
Yeah, Neith. What is this? I don't think we have visited this place. Fronts of New Jerusalem Gazebo. Good citizen. Explore New Jerusalem in its entirety. Oh, thank you game. We visited every location. Kurabi. At least I know we've
Founder, be with you.
encountered all buildings. Oh wow, there's a strike. Damien, Sarthas, and Axiotia. Alright, what's up with Damien? Oh, okay. Baldur's Gate 3 had some download going in the background. Sure, fine. Talk to Damien.
Back 1K. Thanks again for signing that petition. Unfortunately, as you can see, it wasn't enough.
Oh, the whole place. I think the power's off on the whole place. The transportation system is off. What's going on? Did you hear Atal's speech? I should go. What's going on?
Yesterday, there was a sudden brownout in the grid, and we almost had a derailment. We've been warning the mayor for months, and all he ever gives us is waffle about the goal. This can't go on.
I fully support you. I think what you're doing is wrong. The city needs stability right now. I agree with you, but your methods are wrong. I disagree with you, but I support you right to strike. I don't want to get involved. What are they trying to... Actually, I should have looked at the boards. I don't think I looked at the boards. I don't know what he's doing here right now. Is he disrupting traffic? Or pedestrian traffic? We can just go around, you know. It's not bothering anyone. I fully support you.
Thank you. Your support means a lot to us. We need to get through to people.
Did you hear Atal's speech?
I heard it 15 times when he was practicing it. I think Atal, like many of us, feels that the time for change is long overdue. The technology you uncovered on the island is the final catalyst for that change, or it should be.
Okay. That was such a human touch. And he said that he heard it 15 times when Atal was practicing it. That's so cool. I should go. Okay, let's look at the boards. I think we'll be able to see. Public transportation must... Come on. Come on, game. Give me. We deserve a functional city. Public transportation must be safe. Nothing to disagree there. Should we go check out all the cats in Milton's Rest? I think we should. I don't know if there's going to be an Easter egg there, but we probably should. This is Patricia. Come on, Patricia. Alright, whatever. Milton's Rest. And Atal is gone, obviously. So I think we've looked at cat still here. Sam, is it a cat or a tank? Who knows? The tiny, quite kind, impossible to pick up even with hands of steel. Mr. Cat, father of generations. Base Mundo, no cat ever loved humans more than him. Would have been a perfect companion for Alexander Dennett. Iris, your fluffy whiteness was like that of a cloud. Max, loved food so much he struggled with diarrhea. Eva, liked to play with laser beams. Frodo, could fit in any box no matter how small. Ivan, you raised as much as we raised you. Sam, is it a cat or a tank? Okay. Misha, the blackest cat, the devil's cat. Area, alas, he only ever sang for food. In loving memory of Beba, the originator of the pigeon slaying industry, and just a cat with impeccable taste in humans. Twiggy, she's napping in a better place now. Meggie, silly ball of energy, smarter than all of us, left us too soon. Donnie, the D is a bit different, I don't know how to pronounce that. Fearless king, ruler of his domain, as big in his heart as he was in volume. Gina, repeatedly killing things in the afterlife, but with love. Nisha. See, is that? No. It's probably going to be a trophy for petting all the cats in Jerusalem, New Jerusalem. Or maybe petting the same cat 5 different times or something. Next cat, Sierra, destroyer of dreams. Katia, she was a very curious cat, looking at the camera way too close. Zuko, president, dose catcher, and lap armor. Louis, we found you as a tiny street fighter, and you grew up to be our best friend. Smart, fearless, and loving. Sausage, her beautiful gaze is upon me, and her presence gives me comfort. Look at the 2 different eye colors. Smetana, white as soak cream, soft as cottage cheese. P.S. soaking in the desert sun. Danny, I didn't mind you eating my chips. Smudge, destroyer of strawberries, master of play, expert napper. Ginger, destroyer of carpets, devourer of food, connoisseur of cuddles. Pepper, spy in former life, constantly monitoring all things from the shadows, expert arguer. Foxy, even the foxiest among us eventually have to face their hounds. Eyeball, psycho, she of many names, a nightmare and a soulmate to Jakar. If I lose all else, may I never forget her. Asriel, we rescued you, then you rescued us. Earl, beloved streamer and accomplished typist. Finn, a typical Leo. He liked attention, delicately wrapping his tail around his paws and sleeping in awkward positions. Legend, a wee boy who lived up to his name. Ginger, alright. Lily, thank you for getting your hair everywhere. Evie, beautiful on the outside, only. Dipstick, he was a real cat if you know what I mean. Flux and Void, in calm, our love was filled. In play, laughter abounded. In war, the fragile shattered. Paddington, may you find many cuddles and carpets to pee on, wherever you may be. Much love, K&S. Wolf, in different worlds but never apart. Best friends forever, a cosmic work of art. Lucy, you came to me, and ever since then my life has been brighter, my number one. Norma Jean, your original father passed away and I took you in. You were scared, but now I hope you're happy. Bitsy, you were taken from us too soon. I miss you more and more every day. Sweet dreams, Fairy. Right. We have 2 more. Wow. How do I get turned around so much? Dana and Fox, the truth is out there. Love you, Ninnies. Dick Cheney, for a creature with so much fur, you're always trying to keep warm with your oversized hats. The chord gesture of my heart. Chewy, music is supposed to soothe the savage beast, but you are different. Mister, your ability to relax was unparalleled. Dome, I was always so glad that you never grew into your ears. Stanley Biscuits, to the best neighbor I ever knew. Stanley Biscuits, I miss you every day. Skipper B. Wojciechin. Realized a cat who was devious. His cunning ways were quite mischievous, but we loved him all the same. Dana and Fox. Cooper. Right. Luna. Her name is Luna. She smells like tuna. Saffron and Cain. May you hunt forever. Aero. Never stop screaming. Tilina, my best friend, who has always been the sunshine of my life. Ripley and Smog. Sun sleepers. Moth hunters. Our favorite beasts. Sir, you are such a gentleman, and I miss you dearly. Lee Lu. You were such a diva and always judged me with your stares, but you were a furry sweetheart underneath it all. Miss you, darling. Senya, the best magic sausage in the world. Can't wait to see you again someday. Jazzy and Gaia, to the most gentle and loving cats one could ask for. Jenny did not like to be held by the unworthy. Luna. Okay, I think that's all of it. We have already looked at this before. Milton, when everything changed, you made sure I wasn't alone. So this must be the founder's cat. This place is indeed called Milton's Rest. Dean, the nicest cat, perhaps the only nice cat. Carlito, we did everything we could save you. I hope there's an afterlife for cats. Castiel, half angel, half demon, all perfect. Damn, truly a special creature. So glad I saved you. Gru, a powerful cat and a good friend. I miss you and I'm sorry I couldn't find you again. Hassan, you are very gentle and beautiful, and I wish nature had been kinder to you. Little man. The little man. I'm so sorry. I wish I could have protected you. The old lady. Undoubtedly the most powerful demon on earth. Love you forever. And Milton again. This does look like the cat from the Talos Principle cover art. You know, the cat that the robot is holding in his arms. Maybe the tail is different. Maybe the tail is white. But otherwise it looks like, you know, we do come out with the cat if we do that Easter egg in the original game. So Milton is probably that cat. Okay, let's finally talk to Cornelius.
Oh, 1K.
Oh, Neith.
What are you doing here?
Where's Cornelius? Looking for Cornelius.
Ah, I assume it has something to do with your expedition? I must admit I haven't been following the news. Sorry, been a little lost lately.
What do you mean, why are you lost? Cornelius, are you okay? Cornelius seems to have been at the megastructure with Athena. Yeah, what happened to you? Why are you not okay?
No, not really. When you asked me what I would do now that my job is redundant, I don't know, I guess I hadn't thought about it. I had just focused on getting there. And after you left, it all just rushed over me. The truth is, I don't know who I am without this. Creating new life, guiding people into existence, that's who I am. More importantly, I think that's who I want to be. And if we stop growing, that's the one thing I can't be anymore. That's why I wanted to talk to Cornelius. He was there at the beginning. He knows where we came from. I thought he might help me understand where I could go next.
And where is he? You can find a new calling, I'm sure of it. You shouldn't have to give up who you are. It's a sacrifice, but it's necessary for the planet. I don't know if this game, it might probably have multiple endings, I imagine, where we could either lean into limiting humanity. 1,000 is maybe a little bit too low of a number, but you know, we can still limit it somewhat. And the other is to keep growing, expanding, maybe even colonizing other planets. Or will the game have a definitive take on it and assert that one is better than the other? That'll be fascinating to find out once we reach the end. You shouldn't have to give up on who you are. But
Thank
at this
1K. I don't want to. I liked who I was. Who I still am. Now, you said you were looking for Cornelius?
Yep. Yeah, he seemed to have been at the megastructure with Adina. Did you know that? I thought this news had spread across New Jerusalem, to be honest. After we discovered those findings, I thought social media would be alight with conversations regarding that. But maybe everyone kept it a secret. It was not relayed back to New Jerusalem.
Oh, that's... well, I suppose it shouldn't really come as a surprise.
Really?
They were very close, you know. After she disappeared, he went away for a long time. On a research expedition, he said. To be honest, everyone assumed he was working out his grief over being left behind. Many of the first companions were deeply shocked by her decision, particularly Byron.
Exactly. Where is he now? And I don't know if, I don't know how, I don't have enough data to think about it yet. We'll see. Where is he now?
That's the thing. I wanted to talk to him about my future, but he wasn't responding to my messages. So I came here to talk to him, and he seems to have vanished.
What do you mean vanished? Any idea where he might have gone? Did you check his house? Can I access his terminal? Did you check his house?
I did, on my way here. And I messaged most of his other friends. He doesn't seem to be anywhere in the city at all.
Any idea where he might have gone?
No. The truth is that for the longest time, he barely left the museum. He was always at his terminal, working day and night. I asked him what he was doing once, and he said he was saving the past.
Can I access his terminal?
I suppose so. It seems a little unethical, but then...
I mean, come on. Everyone's...
just his work terminal, right?
And he's gone. We have no idea. He might have discovered that... I mean, if he was in the megastructure and we went to an expedition there, he would have known that after a while something would come out, you know, his involvement in that place. And so he bailed, not nefariously, but, you know, still bailed for his own reasons. So I guess we'll discover that.
With everything, 1K.
Yep, thank you.
And thanks for taking the time to talk to me.
Yep, did I mention it? So we can try to use the palm reader. Notes and final recording. Okay. Museum lobby. Notes. Terminal museum lobby. Notes. Author Cornelius. Notes. Lab location inaccessible. Deliberate? Unclear. User profile? Yes. Gold puzzles as barrier? Yes. Hidden as self-protection? Likely. External help for upload? Yes. Ask Herman? No. Trust 1K? Undecided. Applicable to Calvin? No. Applicable to Sarabai with Noema? Yes. Lab location inaccessible. Deliberate. Unclear. Gold puzzles is barrier. Yes. Once we solve the gold puzzles after collecting all the optional puzzles, maybe that's when we finally meet Adina. She had some external help to get uploaded back into the simulation, maybe. I don't know why she went back in the... She would have gone back in the simulation though. But there's that whole mega structure there. Its purpose is unclear. Recording final 2. Okay, it's just a voice recording. Let's back out and listen to it.
So this is what Cornelius was working on? Strange. It looks a bit like the blueprints for the Somnodrome, but no, it's not quite that. Is he trying to isolate something in the buffer? Maybe Melville can make sense of it, but I think this might be a dead end.
I need to finish up with the mayor. You can head back to the VTOL whenever you're ready. I'll meet you there. No rush, though.
Depart the megastructure. We have to take it back to Melville to figure it out. Somnodrome. Looking inside for answers. I'm supposed to solve these goddamn Tetris puzzles or Tetranemo puzzles. I'm not gonna do it now. But there was something interesting in that room, right? There's an NPC called Rand. There's like a personality test thing here. Shimlav. Was it this one? Melting Arctic permafrost. Society is collapsing. Select your character. Creature. Steel. Your family is now well fed. Global population. Okay, let's back out. I do remember having something interesting here though. Happiness 1. But it all depends on you and your perception of the world. If you find spiritual balance within yourself, you can be happy anywhere. Most important. Go take a shit in the forest with a toilet paper and then tell me about happiness. Happiness 2. Unpopular opinion. Happiness is material. Money doesn't matter. Something rich people came up with. Okay, material and immaterial takes on happiness. It might be a balance. 2 things. Welcome scholar. Infinite growth. What growth? That's what we must truly fight if we are going to undo the damage we did. And the battle starts within every one of us. The realization that more isn't always better. What growth? In the real world, investment in research is down. Huge areas of potential technological advancement are just sitting there. Viruses have never jumped species before, have they? But we refuse to act because speculation is more profitable. Orangutans went extinct on a global level and nobody fully understands why. But hey, who needs better medical technology? Alright, I think I need to take a look at some of the documents. I keep forgetting what Niamh is. So I'll go back into the terminal logs. What is it? These ones? And I'll try to find the first mention of Niamh. I think it's very important, but somehow I have missed, or I'm not remembering it fully. So I'll go back and Niamh Project 1. See? Trials. Insufficient. But that isn't enough. Talos Principle 2A talks about the universe itself being a machine. Dead City. Baby steps. Let me look at a couple of these. Give me a moment. I can't really find that document that I wanted to check. Maybe I will find it from one of my recordings when I listen back. Other than that, I don't think there's anything I can add here. So you know what? I'm wondering if I should couple this into the last episode so that we lose Byron, we come back to New Jerusalem, we explore, and then we return back to the megastructure so that we can properly investigate him. So this is kind of like an intermission. This is like the halfway point of the story. We have solved half the puzzles, a bit less than half the puzzles for sure. We haven't tackled any of the gold rooms. We have missed some puzzles in the main area, in the main first area. Some of the optional puzzles. Obviously, we're not collected all the sparks or stars, which is another optional.
Listen to the wisdom of the ancient writers, or we will fail.
Nothing's the same anymore.
Wait, fuck you! Come on, I think the thing with the public frequency got cut out because this dialogue triggered. Come on, game. Maybe the game wanted to play back. Okay, let me just restart checkpoint. See if I'm so frustrated that happened. We'll be outside, or we'll be just inside the library, the Museum of Simulation, I think. Okay, no, this is Helga's store, right? No. We should head back to the tower. Who is this? Atal. Hey.
1K, welcome back to the city. As you can tell, your discoveries have had quite the impact.
I heard your speech. You practiced it like 15 times, right? Don't lie to me.
I decided to take a stand. It started with our cats. Damien and I have had a lot of them over the decades, and I've watched every last one of them grow old and die. That got me thinking about our responsibilities towards other life forms. What's life to most living creatures? Fear, hunger, pain, and in the end, death. Involuntary cessation of existence. That's horrifying, 1K. Horrifying. And we are the only ones who can make it better.
I had to think about this. I'm in complete agreement. So, I mean, we re-engineer the whole planet? What exactly is our ethical duty in all this? I think he already elaborated on that in his speech. That we have to make it better for everyone. Better being a subjective term. So, I mean, we re-engineer the whole planet?
Yes. Carefully and slowly, but yes. That's what civilization is. That's what it's always been.
Like
Creating
beavers.
structures to lessen suffering. But this time we include everyone. We use our intelligence to get rid of as much of the horror of existence as we can for all living beings.
I had to think about this. You're right, it's a responsibility to lessen the suffering. What you're describing is pure hubris. I think suffering is natural. This sounds very hard to achieve. I don't know. It's hard to achieve because it's hard to convince everyone to commit to this cause. That's why it's hard to achieve. Not because it's, if everyone was of the same mind, obviously we have the manpower to do it. We are intelligent enough to do it. It's impossible to get everyone on the same page. This sounds very hard to achieve.
So, lots of necessary things are very difficult to do. We're the species that eradicated polio, went to the moon, created artificial intelligence. We need to start thinking bigger.
The problem is there is no we. You're one person. You might find some recruits, but you're not gonna convince the entire population. Look at the people passing by. Nadia war in the world. I had to think about this. You convinced me, but we'll have to discuss the specifics later.
I'm glad. Please, when you get back to the island, make sure Byron's ideas aren't forgotten.
He'll be back with us.
The New Jerusalem are starting to realize a different future is possible.
We're bringing Byron back. Why are you so pessimistic?
Good to see you, 1K.
Good to see you too. Malduc, listen to the ancient writers. We must be humble. Oh, this is the exact opposite of... I don't know if... Damien is playing music. Right. Alright, let's talk to him.
You are the Founder's chosen, but you are in grave danger of going astray. Heed my words, 1K. If you fail this trial, a year from now, New Jerusalem will lie in ruins.
And you know this how? Tell me more. I'm not interested in your madness. And you know this how?
Anyone can see the truth if they are willing to open their eyes. Have you not read the books of our ancestors? In every one of them, the same story is told, again and again, that the pursuit of knowledge can only lead to death and grief. That is what all the great ancient visionaries foresaw. Listen to their warnings. Seek happiness in tranquility, and avoid ambition.
I don't think all ancient writers believed that. There were other strands of thought. That can easily become a self-fulfilling prophecy. When you can no longer imagine a better future, you cannot build on. Yes, there must be a reason those ancient writers kept repeating that theme. Yeah, if you're being very pessimistic about it, obviously we can't do anything. Do you think it was a negative feedback loop?
The very idea of a better future is what's rotten. That is what the ancients were trying to tell us. All the problems of the world come from those who think the world needs to be improved.
Yeah, I strongly disagree with that. So we shouldn't even try to make things better. You sir, that second. You sir, more of the highest order. Perhaps you're right. I think about it. So we shouldn't even try to make things better.
Yes, progress is a fantasy. Things never truly change. All we can do is prevent our hubris from making things worse.
Yeah, the one with the hubris here. This reminds me. I should go find Dosikles and that other meditating guy. I don't know where to find them. They're somewhere here. Before we head back, I think we should do that for sure. Then I think we can. Have we not? This is the tablets of the founder. Yeah, we have visited this before. Thecla.
Founder bless you, 1K. Now is the time of our great testing.
She's very superstitious.
For Byron has been slain.
Oh my god.
And we must turn away from the path of sin or suffer the same fate.
I don't agree with Byron, but he's not a deceiver and he's not dead. This is idiocy. Have you ever considered that you might be wrong? Why do you hate Byron so much, by the way? Did he personally offend you somehow?
Because the values he teaches are evil. He wants to violate the earth with human filth, blacken the skies and kill the oceans.
Byron believes we can grow without repeating the mistakes of the past. If you think that, you're an idiot. Let's go with the first one.
The tools of the sinner cannot be used to raise the sinner's palace. Never forget that, 1K.
Alright, Thecla. I just need to find the islands. I think it's in the opposite side, to be honest. Oh, this place is so drab right now. Where has the sun gone? Okay, I think we are reaching closer. He was not Dosikles, he was someone else, but he's right here. He was meditating. Belmarsh. Okay.
Founder bless you, friend.
What do you think about everything the expedition has uncovered so far?
I wouldn't worry too much about any of it. The Founder is an idea, a story we collectively tell ourselves. There is no truth for you to discover, and all these amazing technologies are really just more stories for us to believe or disbelieve.
Right. Inner peace. Where's purple? I want to see purple. Purple was right here last time. Because he is really fun to talk to. Dosikles is inside that building, I think. Is that purple? That might be purple. No. That's Rat. I think Rat created one of the items in the exhibition. There's Dosikles. Lapidus. He still hasn't found a lover yet. Oh, we can pet another cat. For sure, if we pet all the cats in New Jerusalem, there's going to be a trophy.
1K, you're back.
Yeah. How have you been, Dosikles?
Let's not talk about me. Let's talk about that replication technology you found.
You want more humans.
Hold of it, 1K. You have to. Of course. If you don't, I think I'm gonna die of loneliness.
I know.
I think this whole city's gonna slowly suffocate. I mean, do you really think the Founder would have designed such a large city if she intended for us to stop at 1,000 inhabitants? That's not even enough to fill a village.
I promise I'll do my best. I'm sorry it's too dangerous. It's not their option. I guess I'll at least we can retrieve the technology back, you know. And then later decide what to do with it.
Thanks. I don't know how much longer I can go on feeling like this.
Yeah, we'll find someone for you. I think purple is gone. Where is purple? He was the most fun to talk to. Obviously, they took him and he was standing right there for sure. Now he's gone. Okay, I think I should finally return to the lift. I don't know if there's anything else we can do here. Is that purple? Where is the... Yeah, that's the tower. Phew. Pigeons.
Hi, 1K.
Hey. Right. Oh, come on. Game having difficulty with the stairs. Is there a way to skip this? Yeah, we can skip. Skip. Cool. And if we want to, we can like stay in the elevator and see us go up, you know. This is a beautiful view of the city. So I'm glad we have the option to sit and watch it if you want to. Someone gonna interrupt us before we reach the VTOL.
1K, could you join us for a quick debrief?
Uh-huh.
Attending today are advisors from engineering, the archive scholars, and Helga.
Yes, don't mind me. I'm just an admirer of governmental transparency.
Yes, well. While the mayor is briefed by Alcatraz, he's asked us to review recent events. Byron's loss has unsettled us all. It may be too dangerous to allow this expedition to continue.
Allow this expedition. We can see his outline on the glass behind. Not here in the earlier scene. I think that's a glitch. It may not be safe, but we can't leave Byron behind. Byron took risks. We'll be more careful. The island has technology we can't afford to lose. We're hot on the founder's heels. We must keep searching. That island is one big puzzle that's halfway solved. We can't quit now. That's the gamer reason to go back. Frankly, it's too dangerous. We should leave that island well alone. Does the game end if we choose the third option? I think even Alcatraz is gonna stick up for Byron if we say that. That's what's gonna happen. Where is Yakut and Melville? I guess Yakut is here, not Melville. And Helga is here probably because we started talking to her after that meeting with Dodge. If not, we might have a different NPC here, I think. It may not be safe, but Byron took risks. We'll be more careful. The thing is, we really can't know what that place is gonna do to us, no matter how careful we are. We're obviously going to be more careful, but you know, still it's a dangerous thing. It may not be safe, but we can't leave Byron behind.
I agree. We cannot be guided by fear. We must do what's right.
Let's not forget the dam's falling apart. We can't depend on hydro forever. With just a fraction of the power that island can generate, we could grow this city into a planetary society.
Or, quite possibly, destroy ourselves in the process.
We should trust ourselves to make good of this opportunity. We should beware the fate of those who wield power beyond their reckoning. We have more important matters to discuss. We should trust ourselves to make good of this opportunity. I don't think this society is... it has the structure needed to do that responsibly. There is a mayor and there's Jeremy. I don't see any other organizational structure here. And everyone has their own views. There's no way this society is gonna hold if a power like that comes, you know, comes into question. People have way too many views and they won't be unified in how to use it. We should beware the fate of those who wield the power beyond their reckoning. We have more important matters to discuss. We have more important matters to discuss.
Wise words from one so young. That island holds secrets far more valuable than mere energy generation.
What could be more important?
The Somnodrome, of course. If we could find a working model, it would herald a sea change in our moral and self-understanding. The question of how we should build New Jerusalem would simply be moot.
How? Why?
The Somnodrome was supposed to let us interact with our own subconscious code. It's a cool idea, but it wouldn't necessarily solve all our problems.
My own studies prove that we operate on an intrinsic moral logic. It's what makes us human.
Yeah.
Our access to it is only indirect. Our ancestors created art, philosophy, and parable to help bridge that gap. The Somnodrome would help us to cut out the middleman and ask the source directly. We would finally have an answer to the great moral questions.
So, it's a newfangled way to make the same old mistake of judging who's good and who's bad.
We're fortunate 1K preserved the Somnodrome for our study. Initial data suggests it was a prototype with substantial design flaws. But there may be a working device elsewhere on the island.
Then the question is, what would 1K do if they found it?
What? What? That's not the question. We are doing this expedition as a team. It doesn't rely on my decision making unless I accidentally run into it and try to sabotage it on purpose. I'd destroy it. I'd share it with the people. I'd let the government decide. I'd let the scholars investigate. I would keep an open mind. I would use it myself, then see how I feel. Share it with the people. This is such a... And we are so limited, we are see, in a way we can see this as us being limited by our programming. Imagine ourselves as a human. Even when we are making a response, we are limited by our own programming to only think a certain way and be heavily biased towards certain things. And this can be just 1K, us being so limited because we are trying to choose 1K's options, and this is all 1K can respond with. I'm just giving a contrived way to explain the limitation of the game, but it's still valid in some sense, I think. I would let the scholars investigate.
Yes, our wisdom will be essential in unraveling its secrets.
You're not the only people who can read a line of code, Rand.
You all sound so sure of what's best for this city. Do you ever think you might be so busy changing the world for the better, you'll forget how to see that it's perfect already?
So clearly there are different perspectives in the room. The only way we are going to move forward is if the team gets back out there. 1K, I believe Alcatraz is waiting for you at the VTOL. We'll be keeping an eye on your stream from here.
Okay, so I guess we have a bigger team of people chiming in now. We have Byron replaced by 4 voices in our head. Byron was the best. Okay, Hermanubis, what do you have to say?
What can I do for you, 1K?
We have to rescue Byron. What do you think about the technologies you discovered?
They all sound very promising, of course. Apparently, it's possible to just magic things into existence now. But what is the cost, 1K? There's always a cost.
We have to rescue Byron.
I agree. We can't just leave one of our most important citizens in that death trap.
I had to go.
It's always a pleasure to speak to a citizen.
Alright. The more I speak to all these people, I understand that they have so many flaws, but they are so refined in their flaws that it comes across easier, Maybe being one-dimensional.
What did the mayor say?
Or
I convinced him that we need to keep going until we found Byron.
Did he want us to leave him behind?
No, he's just concerned for our safety. And he's right to be. But we're going back anyway.
Yeah, good. But yeah, the flaws are so evident because they are so...
Trials lie ahead of you, my child. But your choices will determine the future.
Okay, Elohim. How do you know so much, Elohim? Are you connected to Athena internally?
Melville, are you receiving?
Yep. Welcome back to the mysterious island, everyone.
How's the situation?
Whatever Byron did seems to have sent the whole system into some kind of lockdown. I can't access any of the terminals, although I suspect 1K still could.
Why would that be the case?
When 1K connected to the data stream, the system assigned him a user profile. The rest of us are locked out. I'll need your help, 1K, because a lot of stuff doesn't seem to be working.
Okay. Check it out and see what you can fix. But please remember, what matters most is finding Byron.
All right. Yeah, I think just to finish my thought earlier, the flaws are so evident because they are so refined. The flaws are refined and everything else is every unnecessary detail is pushed away, and every flaw is communicated so clearly. It can be seen as being a single-dimensional character in a sense, but they do have different dimensions as long as we push for it. It's just one thing comes across more clearly than, their most prominent characteristic comes across more clearly than anything else. Is that a fly? I don't even know what that is. But yeah, I think we'll stop our episode here. It looks like it's dusk. That's east, right? No, that's north. That's supposed to be south. This was supposed to be east, so I don't know why the sun is there. Yeah. Nice place to stop. Probably a longer episode if I had combined both the New Jerusalem exploration as well as a megastructure puzzle. But we have to go back and find Byron, and we'll do that in the next episode. Yeah.